So I've made a few videos about organizing my crap, and that has made people think I am very organized. The reason why I've made these videos is that I am not organized. I am the opposite of organized. I am a slob and a total shipwreck of a person, and I need to get a grip. And you know what the problem is? It's the same problem that's always the problem when your home is a total mess. It's that you have too much stuff. But I want all this stuff. It's my supplies. Yes, this is very random. It's a page from a book of children's songs, and I don't know what to use it for, but I am going to use it for something. And I have too many fashion images like this spread out over the whole room. I used to have it in a folder, but I've been using them, so, you know, they tend to spread. And these things, these are half cut up clothes that I'd like to use for covers, for, you know, like November covers, November book covers, or vampire books, or I don't know. And this, look at this, lovely, all of it. I don't want to get rid of it. I want to use it for mermaid books and like ocean themed things. So what do you do when your stuff overwhelms you, but you don't want to get rid of it? Enter my husband. Why don't you just remove the things you aren't going to use now and put it somewhere else? Well, that's very practical of you. Having all this stuff at my fingertips, ready to use at any time, isn't really helping, because it makes me feel like I should work on 20 different projects at the same time, and it paralyzes me creatively. It's like when you write a poem. If you write poems, you might know that restrictions may actually be a good thing. Like, you want it to rhyme, or you want to use iambic pentameter, because having those restrictions and rules to a point help you be more creative. You're sort of, I don't know, butting your head against things, and you have to problem solve because you can't do you can't do anything you like. And I think it might be the same with my journals. Like, if I can't at a given time access all of my bookmarks, just some of them, or maybe I don't have this skirt close at hand, so I can't make a cover out of this admittedly lovely fabric. I have to do something else instead, which can be a good thing. So what I'm going to do is to put all of my stuff that's not yet cut to size, and that I'm not going to cut to size in the near future, into one of these big boxes, like moving type boxes, and shove them into these sort of wardrobes that I've got in my craft room. I'm thinking I can sort of treat those things as a shop by removing things from sight and sort of putting them in the shop. I can use up what is at hand, you know, and then when I feel like, oh, I want to go shopping because I need a new cover in like purple velvet. No, don't, because you do have purple velvet in the shop. You know, don't bring it out until you're actually going to use it, like over the coming 6 months, perhaps. So, first things first, I need boxes, and this is our attic. Same problem here. I promise the rest of our house looks better, but here is a box. There we go, and there. And now, the next step is to be ruthless and you know, you don't need to worry because you're going to keep all the stuff. It's just that it's going to be out of sight. Okay, I think that's enough blathering. Let's start. But I don't know where to start. Okay, how to get going. I'm taking you with me in my frustration because you might feel the same if you have a big stash as well. But I think the first thing you have to think through is, what will you want to do? What will you want to use? What kind of books or projects do you want to work on in the near future? It's almost like GTD, you know, next action stuff. So yeah, that is how you look at these boxes. They are someday maybe boxes. And you need to figure out, no, I need to figure out what my next action is. What are my current projects? And they can't be too many. And what is on the back burner? Like, for example, let's look at these. My beloved vampire things. Can I make, am I going to make, like, I don't know, 5, 6-ish vampire books in the near future? No. Am I going to make one? Very probable, since it's the end of October and November is coming up and it's dark and, you know, all that Halloween stuff floating around. So let's go have a look at my, where is it? My cover box, because if I want to make a vampire book, I will need a vampire type cover. Here is my cover box where I keep, I talked about this in another video, that you can have a cover box where you cut things down like fabrics, cut them down to fit a typical cover, so it's ready to go. You can just up and use it. Also, the wine boxes I use to make my covers. So the question is, in this case, do I have stuff in here for a vampire cover? Okay, I have wine boxes aplenty, so that's fine. That means that these wine boxes that I haven't cut down yet, I don't need those. Ugh, just falling over stuff. I don't need those right now, so they will go into the wardrobe. I'm going to put them over here. What about the cover fabric? Is there anything in here I would like to use for a vampire cover? Well, this might, yeah, black velvet, yes. I might need some red stuff, like red trims. Trims is another thing. Here we have trims, you know, in an overflowing box. So this, for example, look at that. I might keep this out and put other trims in the shop. So I'm just going to put that there to remind me of how I was thinking. Here's some other stuff I could use for vampire things. Okay, the next step would be to cut off some bits and pieces from these for pockets, tucks, maybe make a box for that, and then when I have everything I need in it, like for example this caught my eye right now. I have lots of eyelash trim. I mean, this is yarn, but people call it eyelash trims. I will need some of this in my vampire box, but not all of it, so maybe put the rest of that away as well. Now this caught my eye in the, oops, this one. I've already started wrapping it around a wine box. There's a wine box in here. It's a dress that's actually, it was, it's ripped, so, and too big for me. But this might be something I leave out and put in a vampire box. So, vampire stuff and a pair of scissors. Bring out your dead and your inner ruthless dictator. Okay, to reiterate, if I keep all this out in boxes that I can use at any time, it just, it's like I'm drowning in this stuff. This doesn't inspire me at all. So what I need to do is to make it manageable by removing things that I can use next year, for example. So I like this one. This one I am going to use. It's quite manageable, so it goes into the vampire box. This one, no, goes into the shop. Because, it's not, I can use it, but does it inspire me right now? No. Does this inspire me right now? Well, it could be on the outside of a cover, like a closure. So, okay, yes, goes into the vampire box. This is not vampire stuff. This is good. Trims are good. This is very good for the inside of a cover, but I think I already have that kind of stuff as well, so it goes into the shop. This could be, yeah, pockets and stuff. Very good into the vampire box. Red velvet, always useful. I will put that into the vampire box. This keeps jumping out at me. If I dye this red, it's very good for vampire stuff, but I'm not sure. I'm going to put that to the side for the time being. I might want to use it for something else. This, I bought this because it's got lots of black lace. It's not really lace, is it? But what would you call this? Is it lace? I don't know. But it's a whole garment. It's like a top of some kind, and it needs to be broken down so that I can see what to use it for, because in its intact form it just looks like a top, and that's not very inspiring. I think this would go very well on if I pick this up from, I just put this into the vampire box, but say that I make pockets out of red velvet, and then yes, it goes into the vampire box. And yes, now I have cut so carelessly that there are some snippets here I could use for clusters and stuff, so that also goes into the box. But this is kind of my bad conscience. This could be used as a background for something, like very the base layer of a cover. So maybe put it in the shop box, because I don't want to throw it away just yet. This can be used for closure very easily, so vampire box. This could be part of a pocket, so yes, vampire box. The things I feel like, oh, I don't know what to do with this, it goes into the shop. More trims. I always need trims, especially in red, so that goes into the vampire box. This goes into the trash, actually, because I'm not going to use that. I know it. Vampire box. It can be a trim on a page, a border. Same thing. These, well, everything that is sort of thin and can be used as a trim is good, except for this one. I don't like this one. It's just cotton. It's boring. I might put something on top, like when you have something really thin, you can sort of have it in the background. So yeah, maybe the shop box, because right now I'm not feeling it. All of these red velvet things are good. They go directly into the vampire box, this one as well.
it's very thick, so making a side pocket out of this would really take up space. But it could also be on the cover, like a like say that you have this cover and you want to break things up a little bit. You could have, like, you know, just make things interesting by dividing the image. This one, I don't know, shop. Some of the nice stuff, like the glittery stuff, has to go into the shop box, because otherwise I'm never going to look at it. I'm going to think, oh, the shop box, that's where all the boring stuff is. So you have to have some attractions in there. Like this one, for example. I'm not going to use this now, but it goes into the shop box and my brain will remember that, you know, there was some glittery stuff in there. Let's go and have a look. I bought this for the lace, obviously. So this would go very well on top of, for example, red velvet, like this, for pockets or stuff, or maybe something glittery, like spangles that show through just a little, like this. So maybe keep these two. No, actually this is attractive and it's going into the shop box, because, like I said, keep some nice stuff in there as well. So what have we got so far? We have a few scraps that haven't gone anywhere. They will. I mean, you don't want to see the whole process. We have a shop box where I chucked a lot of these black things. We have a vampire box that's actually kind of full, so maybe the rest of the scraps simply go into the shop box, because this, I don't want this to turn into something overwhelming. This box, like the vampire box, and similar boxes, like boxes for fashion, for roses, for sea and mermaid stuff. The point is that I will be able to take this box with me to the dining room, for example, with a pair of scissors to cut things down into pockets and trims and tucks and all those things, according to my fabric flowchart. And it's not too much. It's not like this jumbled bundle of stuff. It's actually things that I know what to do with, more or less. So I can, for example, if I see this trim, I can have a look and say, okay, it's too long. Do I want it for a cover? No, I want it for a page. Okay, so it needs to be like A5 length. Measure it and cut it up so that everything is in this box is actually usable. That's the plan. And of course, I'm going to do the same thing with paper. So black paper, perfect for vampire stuff. So it goes into the vampire box together with the fabric. And same thing there, I can use the time while I'm waiting for dinner to be ready, because I'm not the one who cooks. I can cut these down and make signatures together with the other papers as well, you know, that I'm going to gather in this box. It becomes kind of a kit with all the elements you need, and I can add from my boxes of, like, I have my border box, so if I find something vampire-y here, I can put it in the vampire box. So that's the plan. I haven't made a dent in the bombed out ruins in here, but I'm working on it. Oh, actually, I almost forgot. How vampire-y is this? It's a children's Halloween costume. I am an absolute bitch for buying it to cut it up, because some child would have been so happy to get this, but I mean, look at this. Couldn't resist it. So into the vampire box it goes.